Down with the CEO of the Suter Company, Tim Suter. Company is almost 100 years old, employs over 350 people. Tim shares his top 3 do's and don'ts in business. What are the top 3 do's in business?
Number one is having a clear and strong vision, core values, and mission, right? Understanding the why of your business and why you do what you do, what gets you up in the morning, what makes you excited about coming to work, and making sure that your vision, your core values, and your mission are communicated well to everyone in the organization so they understand what that means on a day-to-day basis, how it impacts their day-to-day decision making, how they behave, how they treat others, how they serve our community. Having all those things clearly identified, well communicated, and being intentional about creating a culture that reflects your overall goals for running a business. That would be number one. The other thing I would think about is just, we talked about this early on, Ray, which is just knowing what you're good at, right? And staying focused on what you're good at. Don't try to be all things to all people. Understand what we call strategic pillars. Understand what your strategic pillars are, and resist with every ounce of your being drifting away from those things, and just invest in your strengths. Let those strengths be amplified. Don't try to be all things to all people. And then lastly, understand that at the end of the day, business is about people. 25 years ago, when I was getting started, became president and CEO, if you'd asked me, we're all familiar with the 80-20 rule, right? I probably would have told you that business was 80% numbers and 20% people. Well, now I see it exactly the opposite way. It's at least 80% people, and you can't ignore the numbers. I hope that's not what's being taken away from this conversation. But the way I see it now is it's really 80% people and 20% numbers. And so hiring good people, providing them the right resources, showing them the trust that they deserve, helping to break down barriers that are in their way, and then just let them be, as I said earlier, let them be the talented, creative, passionate people that they are, and let them shine. That would be it. The number one, again, strong vision and values. Number 2, understand what you're good at. Number 3, hire good people and let them shine and do what they do. Those would be my 3 do's.
What about the don'ts?
Number 1 is don't miss an opportunity to serve. And I'm speaking from the idea of being an entrepreneur, a business owner, somebody who's in a sort of an executive or management role. What you have is a platform, and it's up to you to choose how you're going to use that platform. There's more to life than the bottom line, and I just would encourage you to use it for good. And I'm literally sitting here at my desk, and I'm looking at a little Post-it note that sits on my desk every day that I look at. And as you probably picked up over the course of this conversation, my faith is super important to me. So this is from Ephesians 4:1, which says, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. And so, again, we all can impact, we can all use our leadership to impact people for good. So I would say don't miss that opportunity. That'd be my number 1 don't. Number 2, this goes back to the focus idea. Don't chase shiny objects. Don't try to be all things to all people. There's a couple schools of thought when it comes to strengths and weaknesses. Some people would say it's important to be, quote unquote, well balanced, right? You need to work on your weaknesses. I come more from the school of thought that we should all focus on our strengths and amplify those strengths. And I understand you can't be you can't be completely weak in some areas. So if you've got a glaring problem, of course you need to fix it. But what I mean by that is back to the focus idea and understanding what your core strategic pillars are and where your company truly adds value, right? So don't let yourself be distracted. Don't let yourself chase shiny objects because it sounds like a cool opportunity. And don't try to be all things to all people and just chase things that ultimately you won't be good at. So that'd be my number 2 don't. And then number 3 is linked back to strong vision and values, is don't drift. There's a wonderful book called Mission Drift that talks about organizations over the years that have lost their way because they don't stay focused on their vision and values, and they become whatever the winds of change tell them to become. So that would be intentional, don't drift. Be true to who you are and be true to what your purpose for your business is.
Recap of the top 3 must-dos. 1, have a clear and strong vision, core values, and mission. 2, know what you're good at. Don't be all things to all people. And number 3, business is about people. Here's a recap of the top 3 don't do's. Number 1, don't miss an opportunity to serve. Number 2, don't chase shiny objects. Number 3, don't drift. Special thanks to Tim Suter for taking time out of his busy day and schedule to share a little bit of the history and how the Suter Company has navigated and found success over the better part of the last 100 years. If you like our content, be sure to subscribe to our channel, leave us a comment below. Also, be sure to check us out on your favorite podcast provider. See the links in the description below.